So who's ready? Welcome to the Refuge Program. Come on.
I'm Garrett Conley. I'm the author of Boy Erased, now a major motion picture. Boy Erased is the story of my going into conversion therapy after being outed to my parents and the psychological torture that I endured while I was there.
You cannot be born gay.
Also, it's a story, I think, of my mom who takes me out of therapy and saves my life, and also has to go on her own journey of acceptance.
The world will tell us that there really is a war going on for counseling individuals with gender dysphoria. We hear conversion, reparative therapy, all these words, and say, oh, that's like poison.
There's this really onslaught in our culture right now of communicating that ministries like the one I direct, First Stone, is a conversion therapy ministry. Now, the terminology even is kind of scary, conversion, and they'll even word it that way, the conversion therapy. And it's like, what is that?
When we hear the world say, well, somebody's going to offer conversion therapy, or we have to outlaw this conversion therapy, it brings a visual to people that are being electronically shocked, or they're being hidden away in a cabin somewhere in the woods and whipped and brainwashed and said, you can't behave like this. And the abuse, in a sense, just abuse. The Boy Erased movie portrays a false conception of what conversion therapy is really about. It isn't where a boy is locked away in a cabin and being beaten with a Bible. There's none of that abuse with somebody that's responsible.
No one in literally over 100 organizations that I'm familiar with that help people overcome homosexuality, either through a pastoral care process or a just therapeutic model, practices this therapy.
To me, therapy is pretty much all talk therapy. We have a problem, we talk about it. If they are a responsible counselor, they will talk with the person just like I do, only at a deeper level, obviously psychologically, that is really beneficial to the person because they're trying to get to the root. They're trying to get to those roots of what we have the manifestation of it. So what created it? And we have to realize people have different perceptions as well. So though a circumstance may not be the reality, it's the way they perceive them. And a counselor can talk to them through that. A psychotherapist is able to help dig in to that heart, to the issues, and where they can see this is why you believed, or this is why you tried to escape. Sometimes there's also personality disorder, obsessive compulsiveness that's attached to this. So sometimes there's psychological underlying reasons that a person has gender dysphoria. And these are folks, professional folks, that understand that and know the techniques to be able to work with somebody. So though the world's view is this is abusive and we are harming people, a responsible psychotherapist will not in any form abuse a client that they are seeing. Neither will those that are in ministry work.
Of course, these ministries and therapy places are going to have directive ideas for people to change their lives. They're going to talk through a person's history and help them to come to terms with what direction they want to make. If they're a part of a ministry, we're going to unashamedly, unapologetically say, we're going to point you to Jesus Christ and his perfect ways. Now, is that what you want? So when people come to a ministry like First Stone or even some of the other ministries that I've been around, they all ask these questions. You understand this is what we're about. And people volunteer from their own self-determination, decide they want this kind of help. And so we're not out trying to proselytize the gay community. If they ask us, do we think homosexuality is sin? I'm not going to bat an eye. I'm going to say absolutely.
They will identify anything that helps someone desist from being a transgender as conversion therapy. That means if I sit down in a coffee shop with somebody and I spend time talking to them and they go, well, maybe I don't need to do this, they would say that I'm doing conversion therapy. Today, many laws are being passed that prevent people from going for therapy so that they're locked in to their transgender identity. They don't want you out. They want you locked into it. The truth is, if you're diagnosed with a dissociative disorder or obsessive compulsive disorder or some other disorder, then you have the opportunity to go to therapy and actually work through it, and you will desist from even wanting to change genders. I do know that good, sound talk psychotherapy that deals with comorbid disorders, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, will allow you to desist from undergoing unnecessary hormone therapy and a totally unnecessary surgical change. That I do know. So you can call it anything you want, but they use the boogeyman conversion therapy term to identify anything that helps people desist from transgender life.